Hello, my lovelies. I'm just logging on to Instagram as we speak. Please say hello when you come in. I'm hoping that there's going to be a few of you that are ready to have a chat with me tonight. Say hello when you're there. I'm just logging into my Instagram whilst I'm speaking to you. Hello. Ooh, what a week, guys. What a few weeks we've had, to be honest. Okay, let's add that. Let's go live. Hello. Yes, I've got a few people saying hello. Say hello, let me know where you are, where you're logging in from. Hi Emma, welcome my darling. Hello Charmaine, hello gorgeous. Hey Tiffany, hello. Hi Joanna. Hello guys. Hi Brunette, how are you my lovely? We're just waiting for some more people to come on. Hi Lincoln, how are you? How are you doing? Hi Julie, bless you. This is the one time in the week that I put on some makeup and do my eyebrows. We got hello from Santos, Brazil. Hello, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Zari, hello, my darling. How are you, girl? Hello, John Lewis. Thank you for joining me tonight. Hello, Sherry Class. Yes. Welcome. Hi, Julie from Kent. Hello, everybody. I've got some people waving at me over here as well. I've got Clinton Create. I've got DJ Cat who's joined. I've got Jack who's waving at me. I've got Jenny Graham who's waving. I've got Tope. Hi, Tope. I've got Kay Cullen waving at me. I've got Vanda who's tuning in from Belgium. I've got Jacqueline who's waving at me as well. I'm going to have a swig of water. I'm thirsty already. Tiffany says, I loved your live protest video. Thank you for filming. Felt like we were all there. It was beautiful. Thank you. Zari said, Kirk and Fred lifted me last night, but it's been rough, girl. It has really has been rough. Hi, Luis from Mexico. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Guys, what a week. What a few weeks we've had. We've got Blue Hazy waving. We've got GFB waving. We've got Eric waving. Brooke is saying, hey, hi, Brooke. Brooke's waving. We got Calogero saying ciao. Secret, this is not about how much you love me tonight, my darling. This is about the whole thing about racism and Black Lives Matter. So please respect that. Helmet, did I say it right? Hello, Helmet. Thank you for joining. Thank you for waving. We've got Lincoln waving as well. Thank you. Jason's waving. Jacqueline says it's been a few weeks hard to. She has family in Florida as well. Guys, how are you? How are you coping? How are you dealing with this whole thing with, what's happened with George Floyd and the Black Lives? How are you, where are you at with this? How do you feel? Has it impacted you in any way? A lot of you saw my post about, I went to the march because I felt like as a mother of a black child, my son is mixed race, I'm mixed race, and to some groups of people, I'm too black. And to some groups of people, I'm not black enough, I'm bang in the middle there, which is a whole nother issue in its own. But, as a person of colour, this has been a really challenging couple of weeks. How are you guys feeling? We've got a few more people saying hello. Lizzie's waving. We've got Francisco from Barcelona. Francisco, how are things in Barcelona? Have you guys marched? Have you been protesting? Has there been much coverage of what's been happening around the world regarding George Floyd? And we can't forget Ahmaud Arbery as well, who literally, what was it, a week and a half ago? We've got Sharon saying, it's absolutely broke my heart. I feel sick watching the videos. I mean, does anybody else agree with Sharon? Have you guys felt sick by this? Has it upset you? You know, do you feel angry? I know there's lots of people that feel angry. Charmin says, I'm still angry. I'm not okay. Do you know what, Charmin? I am not okay. And I don't know if I'm angry. I feel brokenhearted, is what I can say. Like, I find myself, like, sometimes I have to shut away social media because I find myself getting upset, crying. And if that happens tonight, guys, just bear with me. But, you know, it's just so real. And I wanted to cover a few things tonight, and I'm hoping that you guys are going to be honest with me. And if this is not something that you understand, if you don't understand what the fuss is about, or you don't understand what the looting is about, the protesting is about, let's talk about it. Let's try and just work it out in our little way. Let's try and right the world here. Cheryl says, I think the whole world is outraged. If anybody agrees with Cheryl, throw some thumbs up on the screen. If you feel outraged, give me some thumbs up. Helmut says, very sad what happened to George Floyd. Will it ever stop? And that is the question, isn't it? And I think this is why so many people are upset. So many people are brokenhearted. So many people are angry. So many people are tired of this. We're so tired. How many of you guys are sick and tired of watching videos on social media of a black person getting killed, getting hurt, getting punched up, getting arrested, getting attacked? I mean, it's not just men, it's men and women. How many of you are sick of this? Julie says, it has broken my heart. I'm so angry. Elizabeth said, I'm very, and it's cut off there, Elizabeth. Sherry Class says, I'm heartbroken, as we fought so many of these battles in the 70s and the 80s. I thought we would have reached better times, but it looks like it's worse than ever. And then the thing is, Cherry, do you think things are worse than ever, or do you think that we're just seeing more of it on social media? Will Smith put out a quote, and he said, look, this is not that it's new, what is new is that we're actually seeing it now. You know, people have camera phones and it's on social media, so we're just getting to see more of it. Do you think that's what it is, or do you really believe that it's worse? Jacqueline said, it's had me in tears, I'm hurt. Blue Hazy says, as a white woman, I was shocked to think humans are still killing humans. Thank you for that, Blue Hazy. She also says, I cried. And it's always wonderful to hear from our brothers and sisters that are not black, that are not mixed race, that are not people of, or have less colour than us. You know, we all have colour, but have less colour than us. Because I put up a post a few days ago and it got really mixed reactions. And I said that this is not a black issue. And what I meant by this is that it can no longer remain a black issue. It can no longer be black people trying to fight for, you know, to be valued and for our lives to be respected and for us to be empowered and for us to be treated equally for equality. This has to be a humanity issue. It can't just be, right, look, that's your problem, guys. Good luck with it. Like, it has to be a humanity issue. If you agree with me, please throw your comments on the screen. Give me a thumbs up. Throw a heart in the air. Like, whatever you want to do, whatever you feel in this moment. Brunette says, I've been traumatizing and distressing to see what happened to George Floyd. Yes, it brings anger to the surface. The videos show exactly what police have got away with for numerous years. If you agree with Brunette, then just chuck some hearts up on the screen. ISF450 says, I feel bad because we are in 2020 and it doesn't stop. And I think this is what we're seeing with the protesters and people that are looting. Don't get me wrong, I do not agree with people, you know, I don't see why people need to loot Louis Vuitton and Gucci, and, you know, I'm not here to condone people that are opportunists and that are taking this situation that is very serious, very heartfelt and trying to, you know, get a free handbag. I'm not here for that at all. However, when some of the protesters were interviewed, and I've watched a number of interviews on CNN and, BBC News and Sky News, and some of them have said that they feel that by being this dramatic and, setting cars on fire and, smashing up shops and, setting fire to buildings, which is it's just horrible when you see it. For some of them, they feel like this is the only way that they're going to be taken seriously, that this is the only way. They have to go to this extreme for there to be change. Do you agree with this, or do you think that they've just taken it too far? Blue Hazy says, I feel I can't do anything. And we're going to go through some of the things that we can do so that we don't feel so helpless. Blue Hazy says, it's just not right. Sharon says, I think it was the face of the officer that didn't care. And you're talking about, obviously, the officer that killed George Floyd. I mean, what broke my heart was his lack of care and concern. And he had his hands in his pockets. And I just thought, he just had his hands in his pockets. Like, he just didn't care. I just can't get that image out of my mind. And then, how many of you have seen since then some of the photographs that there was actually 2 other police officers that were actually kneeling on George Floyd as he was on the ground behind the vehicle. So it was literally 3 officers that were kneeling on him. And obviously there was the other officer who was trying to stop people from getting involved. What do you think should happen in terms of these officers? Do you think that they're guilty of murder? Do you think that they're guilty of obstructing justice? Like, where do you stand with that? Tiffany says, I honestly thought that in 2020 we were past the worst of racism. It has absolutely broken my heart. Janet May says, it is sickening to watch. The behaviour of the police has demonstrated the hatred in the heart of man. Sharman says, nothing has changed. As Will Smith said, it's being filmed, and she agrees with that. Thank you for those of you that are joining and that are watching. Thank you so much for being here, because even just by logging onto this and watching, even if you don't feel that you want to say anything, just you being here and watching is just, you doing something in the way of supporting the conversation. Guys, if you want to share this video, if you want to invite anybody to this video, please do that. Please take a moment to do that. Jacqueline says, why is it going to stop? When is it going to stop? I'm very tired of all this, and so are all black people. Women and black men are getting killed. Paulina is waving. Imani is waving. Blue Hazy says, my cousins are mixed race. Some have suffered too. I mean, have any of you guys experienced racism in the UK? In this is my country, my beautiful country. I love the UK. I'm proud to be British. But sadly, I have myself had some experiences with racism. Have you guys had any experiences with racism that you might, if you want to share, you can share. If you just want to put a thumbs up on the screen, put a thumbs up. Helmut says, racism is a heavy burden. Here in Peru, racism is a worrying matter, mostly against native people. But the most ironic thing is that it also comes from other native people and, of course, from white people. Isn't it sad that, a lot of this behaviour is learnt behaviour, isn't it? Janet says, the global video of a man's life being taken on FB, my God, what a heinous act of hate. Sherry Clark says, there is more proof of it happening because of social media, but it had improved, not gone away. But having people like Trump in the White House allows these racists to get away with murder. Do you guys think that President Donald Trump has been guilty of inciting violence and inciting racism? Do you think he's been guilty of that? Let me know. I want to just, also, I'm talking really fast because there's so much I want to get through, and I also want to be able to read you guys' comments because I really appreciate your input. And this is not about me, it's not about my opinions, but it's about us as a people, as a family, as a community, right? Some people have had issues with the Black Lives Matter hashtag, and some people have responded to the Black Lives Matter hashtag by saying all lives matter. Listen, we know all lives matter, but at this point in time in our history, right now, with the things that have happened recently, as I said, in as much as 3 weeks, we've had two horrific things. We can't forget Ormod Arbery, forgive me if I've said it wrong, who, do you remember he was out jogging and these guys in a pickup truck shot him dead on the street, and he was hunted. And I don't even want to say hunted like an animal, because I'm not even a fan of animals being hunted myself. So just being hunted like that was just, it was just so disgusting. And I was watching it thinking, this can't be happening. This can't be happening. And then here we are, a week later, 10 days later, now talking about George Floyd. So I saw this thing on social media, and it's a minister. So for those of you that are religious, that are Christians, that have religious beliefs, there's a pastor called Carl Luntz, and he is based, I think he's based in LA. And he made this illustration, and I thought it was a really great illustration to help people to understand why the Black Lives Matter hashtag is so important. And he says, imagine, for those of you that have read the Bible, there's this story in the Bible where Jesus goes onto the mount and he does a sermon on the mount. And in the Sermon on the Mount, I think it's in Matthew in the Bible, he says, blessed are the poor. Now imagine while Jesus is speaking and saying, blessed are the poor, someone says, well, hold on, Jesus, blessed are all people, right? Look, Jesus is addressing one issue that doesn't take away from all the other issues. But at that moment, he was addressing poverty. Yeah? I also saw this other illustration. I tried my best to explain it. And it was this cartoon. And in the cartoon, there was these two gentlemen. And there was two houses. One house was fine and the other house was on fire. And the guy got a hose and he was putting out the fire on the house, and the guy was saying, where is it? Let me try and just bring it up so I don't want to get it wrong, guys, because I don't want to mess it up. Yeah, I want to give it to you as best as I can. And the guy was like, we should act equally at all times. All houses matter. But the guy with the hose is putting the hose on the house of the fire. And he's like, well, yeah, I agree. All houses do matter. But at the moment, the one on fire should get the attention. And he's saying, well, yeah, but all houses matter. My house has damp. He said, but there's a fire. There's an urgency right now because this house is on fire. So I hope that in some way helps you to understand why the hashtag All Black Lives Matter. Because right now, there's a fire, and we know all lives matter, but right now, this needs our attention. If you understand, if I've made it clear, like, please hit some thumbs up, let me know. I'm doing my best. Janet says, yes, this is a humane issue. Charmin says, white people have to fight for us. We haven't got the power. That's the definition of racism. They need to change things. And this is what I was saying about this not being a black issue anymore. Like, we need you guys. We need all voices. We need white people. We need people of Asian people. We need Polish people. We need Africa. We need everybody. Like, we just need humanity to stand up and go, do you know what? This is not okay. Like, no human deserves to be treated like that. Zainab is saying hello. Zainab is saying that four officers involved in the George Floyd incident, they should all get charged and go to jail for life. If you agree with Zainab, then hey, throw some hearts up on the screen. Julie says, sorry guys, there's just so many comments. I'm just really doing my best. Gareth Fuller says they should be arrested and charged. Charmin says, as Trevor Noah said, black people have looted for over 400 years. So what do people expect? Then there's looting. I don't condone it, but I get it. We're angry, we're tired, we're frustrated. Julie says they should all be charged for murder. If you agree with that, hit some hearts on the screen. Lawrence Rose says, let's talk about it. Guys, thank you for joining the conversation. Tiffany says, how any human being can do that to another human being is beyond me. Tony, thank you for joining, Tony. Tony says, I don't even think of you as a mixed race person until you mention it. You have beautiful features. You should feel proud of the person within and not what people see. Beauty comes from the heart, and it's people's minds that think of shades of colour. Feel proud of who you are. I absolutely feel proud of who I am. Unfortunately, people judge me, you know, sometimes by this. And listen, I'm a person of light skin, so I don't get racism. I'm not a victim of racism as some people are. My sister is dark skinned. My sister's experience on this planet is completely different from mine. My mother's experience is completely different from mine, just because they have dark skin. So it's not that I'm not proud, but I just know that sometimes this is how we're judged. Janet says they should do the same to the officers, kneel on their neck publicly. Porter Anthony says it's sad that Trump's response was said with utter contempt, threatening people as if they decide to protest in the wrong way. It fuels the situation more. If this was normally a normal person on the street, it's an instant murder charge, not manslaughter. Guys, how do you feel? I also want to find from some of you, have you experienced racism in this country, in the UK? If you don't mind being honest, you don't have to share what happens, but if you have, just say UK and with a thumb, so I can just see by the amount of you that put that up. Thank you for those of you guys that are waving at me and that have joined. Brooke says, I witnessed a racist incident last year at a party by the police. Blue Hazy says, I've never actually seen any racist incidents personally. Blue says, been why I feel like I have to mind my opinion. You don't have to mind your opinion. We want your opinion. Your opinion is valid. In fact, your opinion adds strength to our opinion. So please, yeah. Imani says, I feel it's so horrible. The poor man, he did nothing wrong. I think it's pure evil. Thank you for those of you that are coming in, that are waving. Brooke says, I was in a house party last year. There were all sorts of ethnicities there. The police were called for the noise and came in and dragged out the 3 black guys that were there. No one else. It's not okay. Gareth, thank you, Gareth Fuller says, their own chief of police said that by them not saying or stopping their fellow officer means that they were complicit to the murder. I saw that, Gareth. Thank you for that. Janet says racism is hard for people of mixed heritage too. You're absolutely right. Joanna says violence isn't the answer. Hit the racist where it hurts, in the wallet. We can protest powerfully by choosing carefully where we spend our hard-earned pounds. And you know what, Janet, we're going to go through some of that, how some of the positive actions that we can take to support this, to support anti-racism and to support black businesses and all of that, and the hashtag Black Lives Matter. Simona is in the building. Hello, darling. Simona says, yes. Tope says it's not okay. We've got thumbs up. People are saying well said. I want to just get through as many of the comments as you can. As I said, if you've experienced racism in the UK yourself, you don't have to go into what happens, but just put UK and a thumbs up so I know. We've got Flip is saying amen. Katie has joined us. She said hello. Sorry I'm a bit late. Janet says you're doing very well, Michelle. Thank you. Brunette says, of course, some people are missing the point. Black innocent people have been suffering for years and we need to be heard. Things need to change. I pray that a change will come very soon. How do you think we can make these changes? This is what I want us to try and get through tonight. How do we think that we can make some changes, even with where we are, what we have, our social medias, our platforms, yada, yada, yada. Kate, you share your story about the racist incident after your show that you posted earlier. I think it's relevant. Please share with us. We've got a couple of people posting UK with a thumbs up, which basically means that they've had their own experience of racism in the UK. I want to say, please forgive me, I'm talking fast tonight because there's so many things I want to get through and I want to be able to read some of your comments. I saw this wonderful saying on social media and it said, respect diversity, respect differences, respect each other and walk in love. And I think This is what we're doing here on this platform. We're respecting each other's opinion. We're expecting our differences. We're expecting our individual walks, and we're sharing our experiences. Tope says, I'm appalled by how much of it goes on in our schools. If you guys have experienced it in school, or your children have experienced it at school, please press thumbs up, press school thumbs up so I know. Listen, I had my own incident a couple of years ago with my son. My son and his friend got into an argument with someone, and the police were called, and it was these two angry black guys, and my son was labelled angry black guy, and it just escalated, and we had to get legal advice. We had to actually get we had to demand for CCTV footage, and it was only when that was produced that the charges were dropped. And let me tell you, as a mother of a black son, and even though my son is light skinned, let me tell you, when my son goes out in the evening, I worry. I worry about, is he going to get stopped and searched? Is he going to be, somebody going to try and, harass him on the trains, or, all of those things that we worry about. I worry about that all the time. Simona says, white people need to do the work. We need to understand what we need to do as an individual level to dismantle this system of oppression, of white supremacy. Thank you for that, Simona. It's so true. Louise says, UK, yes, she was working as a part-time waitress and she experienced racism. We've got a few people putting a thumbs up, and with UK, if you've experienced racism yourself in the UK, I want you to just put UK with a thumbs up so we know that you have had that experience. Janet says, yes, I have in the UK at school, and also on holiday on a cruise. It ended with the man being arrested on the ship for calling my daughter a black blah blah blah. Julie has also experienced racism at school. Charmin says, I worry for all the black men. If you worry about black men, if you genuinely have that worry about our black men, please put up men with a thumbs up, or in fact, let's put up men with a heart if you worry about our black men. Let me say this, okay? For those of you that are trying to find it hard to understand what racism is just on a day-to-day, black people, black men particularly, they get labelled as being threatening, as being aggressive, as being angry. How many times have we seen on social media women and men, black women who are challenged about their hair, their natural beauty, their hair, their afro, that it looks untidy, that it looks unkept, that it looks unprofessional. These are just some of the daily challenges that black people deal with. Just to paint a picture, we know that black people, more than any other race, get stopped and searched. For black people, listen, even considering where to go on holiday, a lot of black people have to consider, where can I go that I'm going to be safe, that I'm not going to be challenged, that I'm not going to be having to deal with any racism while I'm there. It's an issue. How many of us as well worry about our kids wearing hoodies, or even ourselves wearing a hoodie? These are just everyday challenges that black people face. We've got loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of hearts for our men, for people saying that they're concerned and worry about black men every day. The list goes on and on and on and on and on and on. So I want to say, look, this is not a witch hunt here. We're not here to judge people or to say, look, you haven't posted, you haven't put up the hashtag, you haven't been verbal about racism. I'm not here to judge you or to attack anybody. If you're silent, if you choose not to say anything, you choose not to get involved, it is your choice, and I respect your choice. But let me just say to you, because time is going and I want to get through more of these comments, how can we support this whole thing that's happening now? How can we support the hashtag Black Lives Matter? How can we be a voice in this time with everything that's going on? So these are just a few pointers. If you have any to share, please, please, please share with me. Wisdom is knowledge. That's how we do this. So actions. please do not stay silent, okay? Do not remain silent. Please say no to racism. Be vocal about it. If it's with your friends, with your family, you know, if you don't mind being brave on social media and just saying no to racism. So you can post in support of that. You can use the hashtag Black Lives Matter. There are many causes. Some people have been donating to the family of George Floyd. Some people are donating to other causes related to Black Lives Matter. So please do your due diligence, and you can do that. The top A is saying, have you heard about Blackout Day on the 7th of July? I haven't heard about that, Top A's, but thank you for bringing us to our attention. If you can explain a little bit more about it. I do know that tomorrow, the 2nd of June, is Blackout Day for people that are involved in the music industry. And so what we're doing is we're literally just blacking out, no social media, nothing for a day. We're shutting down, no business, nothing tomorrow. So you'll see me post about that tonight, probably about midnight, that I'm going to be supporting that, and I'm not going to be present tomorrow. I'm blacking out for tomorrow in support of that. You can protest. Some of you saw my post that I went to the protest. Listen, it's not for everyone. So I'm not trying to rally you up to go to the protest. But let me tell you, I felt as a mother, as a black woman, that I wanted to be part of this movement, and I wanted to show my support in that way. Did I feel under any threat? Did I feel under any danger? Do you know what? No, I didn't. I didn't stay for the whole thing. I wasn't out there until midnight. I was there for a couple of hours. I walked. I was there in body, in spirit, my heart, and I felt honoured to be a part of the movement, and especially to be a part of people that were doing it in a peaceful way. So for those of you, there are more protests. I don't have the dates. You can see on social media. There are other days where you can protest in London if you so choose to. That's another way you can support. How else can you support? Educate yourself about racism, educate yourself about where it comes from, how systemic racism is happening in our countries. Educate yourself about how you can support, how you can stand against it. Educate yourself. Another way we can support what's happening is by supporting black businesses. Vote with your money. Go to, shops that sell black products, people that are, all kinds of black businesses, but support black businesses, support with your money. And another way that you can support this movement is to sign the petition for George Floyd. You can go to www.change.org, okay? And you can stand with this whole movement, stand for equality. We all know what to do. There's the hashtag, and there's all these different ways that you can support. Let me just read some of the comments because I really want to get you guys' take on this. Katie says, I came out late after a show one evening to see two girls being verbally disgusting to a black girl while everyone was walking past and allowed it to happen. The things they were saying were absolutely horrendous. No one did anything. Everyone just walked past and watched. I ended up getting in a fight with the two girls trying to stop the racism. I was arrested and had to spend the night in a police cell where, as the two girls being racist, didn't even as much get a telling off from the police. Bless you, Katie. And listen, we don't want people to be getting in trouble. I don't want you guys getting hurt. I don't want you getting arrested. Thank you so much for that admirable behaviour, but please be careful, pick your battles, but thank you. Brooke says, I was scared after the incident I witnessed. I was 14 and I was so shaken up by it. Dr. Mike Kelly, hi Mike, says the world assumes that white people are naturally good. So when something bad happens, it is a good person that has done something bad. You're absolutely right. And we know there's so many connotations where black is bad, isn't it? So you're absolutely right. If you guys agree with Dr. Mike, then please throw some hearts, throw some thumbs up on the screen. Tope says, speak up if it happens in your presence. Exactly. Say no to racism. We're not doing that. I saw some things on social media where some of the looters were getting ready to, break into some of the shops. And there was another video where there was these two girls that were spray painting on a shop. And some of the protesters said, no, we're not here for that. We're not here to cause damage. We're not here to burn down people's businesses, to burn down people's livelihoods. We're here to walk and to stand in peace. So, guys, be vocal where you can, where you feel safe to do that. Cheryl says, thank you for taking a stand, Katie. Obviously, violence is not okay and should never be condoned. Charmin says, talk about it with your family, with your friends. How many of you discuss racism with your children? How many of you have felt the need to have these conversations with your children in order to prepare them how to deal with racism? If you have, then just let me know by saying yes, child, thumbs up. Julie says, that's not bad. That's not so bad, Caitlin, what you went through, but you stood up for someone. Bless you. I got loads and loads of thumbs up going across the screens. Thank you for the thumbs up. Shaman says, not to buy anything from businesses that are not black owned. So the march is that for the 7th of July? It's about basically blocking down and just not spending our money on any other business other than black businesses. Have I understood that right? Let me know, please. Essie Aqua says, glad you said about the entertainment industry blacking out tomorrow from social media. I didn't know. I'll join that. Yes, tomorrow. And I'm going to post about it tonight, that the music industry are standing with each other and are supporting this movement by blacking down tomorrow. And there'll be no posting, there'll be no work, there'll be no singing, there'll be no music from us in solidarity and standing with this movement. If you've just joined the conversation, please say hello. We're talking about racism. We're talking about the hashtag Black Lives Matter and how important it is. And as I was saying, just to reiterate for some of you that have just joined the conversation, I put up a post myself about the fact that this is no longer a black issue in my mind, but this is a humanity issue. This is a human issue. And some people got upset and they were like, this is a black issue because it affects black people. That is not the point I was making. It absolutely is a black issue. Yes, we know black people globally are being affected by racism. But what I'm saying is this can no longer be, oh, this is a black issue, it's over there. This needs to be embraced by humanity. It needs to be a human issue. We all need to come together and stand and be a voice against this and say, no, we're not doing this anymore. Okay, that was the point I'm making for those of you that are just joining the conversation. Let me have a quick swig of water, guys, because I'm just able to go. But thank you so much for joining this conversation. Thank you for your input. Please, as I said, for those of you that have experienced racism in this country, would you just post UK with a thumbs up to let us know that you've had an experience? If you feel like sharing that experience with us right now, please do that. And for those of you that have been following this whole thing with, I mean, who hasn't been following this whole thing that happens with George Floyd being murdered? How do you feel about it? How has it made you feel? How has the whole thing with the hashtags I can't breathe, hashtag tired, where do you stand on all of this? How has it impacted you? I'm going to have a quick swig. Whew. Thank you, guys. Janet says, it should be part of the curriculum at school. How many of you believe that it should be part of the curriculum? Just write the word curriculum, please. Tony says, I never see or hear racism at concerts and gigs. I go to a lot of concerts, but I notice racism in the street. It's so wrong. It angers me. I only notice it with young gang hoodies on a hot summer's day. Okay. Sherry says, I've already said I'm supporting the blackout tomorrow. Thank you, Sherry. We appreciate that. We appreciate your support. It's so, so important. Julie says, I signed that. We've got so many people watching. Wave at me, say hello, and just please, this is your moment, this is your platform, this is your conversation. I'm just here just to facilitate the conversation. we've got a few people saying curriculum, which are basically agree that black education, black history, racism, all of that we should be taught in schools, teaching our children. And how many of us as parents are having to have these conversations with our kids? You know, I saw this thing on social media where this black father was saying to his daughter, I mean, she must have been about 5 or 6, teaching her that if she's ever approached by police, how to stand there with her hands up and say her name. And let me tell you, it broke my heart to think that we have to teach our kids to be prepared of what to do if should they get stopped by the police. And man, Charmin says yes, children. Brunette says yes, children. Katie says, I didn't know about the blackout. I will join that. I'll postpone my singing videos in support. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you. Hildia Thomas says, hi, Michelle. I've just joined. Chantel Jack says, hi, Shan. She says, we can support the movement too by not killing each other. Yes. It's bad enough that black people as a race is suffering from racism and police brutality, but to be hearing about young black men killing each other on the streets and young black women tearing each other apart. Until we fully understand who we are as a people race, we can stand strong together as humanity and ultimately who God called us to be as a nation. Let me tell you, as parents, that is our job, isn't it? To teach our children, to empower our children so that when these things come up and these dialogues come up, that they don't embrace this dialogue of you're black, you're secondary, you're bottom of the pile. And that's, we have to reinforce our children. We've got loads of people saying curriculum, that they believe that racism, black history, education should be in schools. It must be in our education system. Essie says, please, everyone. I'm a black woman myself. I believe that we have to stand up for what we believe, but please recognise that you should do what you need to do without hating others who do not want to join in your action or are unable to join for whatever reason. Let's not go way over to the other side and become divisive out of our own for urgency and frustration. Let's fight and still take the high road. Thank you for that, Essie. And I said earlier, for those of you that missed it, I said, look, we're not here to attack people that are silent. This is not a witch hunt. We're not here for people that don't feel that they want to be vocal or that don't want to post about it or don't want to share about it. It's your choice. So we're not here for that. And we don't want to, drag anybody down or make them feel bad about that. This is an individual thing. And for those of you that feel that you want to be vocal and that you do stand with it and you do post about it, we thank you for your bravery. We thank you for your honesty. We thank you for standing with us, for being vocal, and because we need that. And I want to go over again. Time just goes, doesn't it? But welcome, for those of you that are joining, welcome the conversation. You know what we're talking about. We're talking about the George Floyd scenario, the murder, I'm going to say. We're talking about Ahmaud Arbery. That was literally, a week ago, 10 days ago. Here we are dealing with these issues again. And, having to live this Black Lives Matter hashtag all over again and having to explain why the hashtag is so important. And for those of you that are joining, I'm going to repeat myself. So for those of you that already heard me, bear with me. But I saw, just in a way to explain, because some people, when they see the Black Lives Matter hashtag, we have people that respond, all lives matter. We know all lives matter. But right now, we are dealing with an issue where black lives are being snubbed out, are being extinguished, okay? And this pastor, Carl Lentz, he was using this as an example. So for those of you that are religious, for those of you that believe in God, he was using this example of Jesus being on the mountain. You know, Jesus did the Sermon on the Mount. And imagine Jesus being on the mountain and giving his sermon and saying, blessed are the poor, and someone stopping and going, well, hold on, Jesus, you know, blessed are all people. Yeah, but in that moment, God is addressing poverty. So blessed are, just because you're dealing with that one issue in that time, it doesn't diminish or take away from other issues. We're dealing with that one issue right now because there's a need for it. And there was another post I saw, and for some of you, can I show you that? Maybe I'll try and post it. I got it from my friend Purple Lisa, and it's this cartoon. And so there's two gentlemen. They say, "Well, I think all lives matter," and the guy has a hose in his hand, a fire hose, and he says, "Well, we should care exactly equally at all times about everything." And there's in the cartoon, there's two houses. One of the houses is on fire. And he says, I agree, all houses do matter, but at the moment, this one is on fire. And so it needs to get the attention. And so the other person says, yes, that house is burning and it needs attention. But are you saying that all other homes don't matter? No. My house isn't on fire, but I have rot. And the person saying, yes, but right now, this house is burning, and that's an illustration of why the Black Lives Matter is so important. Yes, we know all lives matter, but right now, people are dying, people are looting, people are protesting. The whole world is reacting to this. So, how can we be of service? How can we act in this time? How can we be of service on our platforms, on our social media? One, do not remain silent. Say no to racism. Be vocal. And I know that takes bravery. And for some of you, you're going to get judged. Some of you, your friends are not going to understand. Your family are not going to understand. But we need your voice. We need your platform. We need you to stand with us and be visible. Post in support. Okay? Use the hashtag Black Lives Matter. With so many hashtags, I can't breathe. Hashtag enough is enough. Hashtag tired. Hashtag stop the violence. Hashtag just no. What's the other one? There's another one. Is it no justice, no peace? Sorry, guys. Sorry about that, guys. There are many. Another way of you showing your support is there are a number of ways that you can donate to the cause. Some people are donating to protesters that are being arrested, and they're providing money for people to be bailed out, money for protesters to have water and things like that. Or you can donate to the family of George Floyd if you feel led to do so. There's lots of information about that on social media. You can protest. Some of you saw this week, yesterday, that I went to one of the protests, and I was glad and honoured to be a part of that and to be a part of people protesting in a peaceful way. And I tell you what, on the streets of London, I felt so much love in that moment with those people and solidarity, and it was beautiful. So if you want to join any of the protests, there are a few protests happening over the next week or two. You can find information about that on social media. 5, educate yourself. Educate yourself about what's happening. Educate yourself about the hashtags. Educate yourself about the people that have been murdered. Educate yourself about Black history. Educate yourself about racism in this country, racism in the States. Like, just try and understand it and understand. I think by understanding it will help you to understand why people are so angry, why people are so frustrated, why people are so tired, and why people are behaving in the way that they are behaving right now. As I said, I'm not here to support looting. I'm not here to support setting fire to people's businesses, homes, cars. I'm not here to support police brutality or police getting attacked. I'm not here for that. But for some people, and just looking at some of the interviews of some of the protesters, some of them believe that this is the only way that their voices are going to be heard and that people are going to take this seriously, because for some people they're in a place where it's like enough is enough. Number 6, how else can you support with your actions? You can support black businesses. Vote with your money. Vote with your money. Okay, support black businesses, support black companies, support black musicians, support black hair salons, support black everything. Whatever, the words fail me right now, but support black businesses. And finally, you can support by signing the petition. Millions of people have signed this petition. If you haven't signed it and you would like to sign it, please, this is the petition in support of George Floyd, and the petition is about making sure that the people that murdered him on the streets, that they are called and they are made accountable for their actions. And so you can go to www.change.org. Okay, listen, this right now, these are ways that we can stand for equality right now. And as I said, for those of you that are just joining in my view, this is not a black issue. Yes, it's a black issue. It affects black people. It affects black people globally. But right now, we can't just say, look, this is a black issue and just leave it over there. This is now, it has to be a humanity issue. We have to come together. We need people of other colours, people of my colour, people of lighter colour than me. We need white people. We need Asian people. We need Indian people. We need black, blue, whatever, grey. I don't care what colour you are. We need people, humanity, to stand up and say, this is not okay. Hashtag, like, what are the hashtags? I can't breathe. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. That is so important. We need you. We need your voice. We need your platform. We need you to stand with us, guys. We love you. We need you. Like, can I appeal and say, we need you? If you don't feel loved, if you've been feeling in this lockdown, you know, lonely and forgotten, and let me tell you right now, we need you. We need you. Judge, hey Judge. Judge is tuning in from Florida, I believe. Just got here. Please don't look for the government for answer. We the people have to lock arms peacefully and say we are one. We will make it better. If you agree with Judge, throw some thumbs up in the air. I want to say thank you to those of you that have been very vocal tonight and very open, and some of you have shared some of your own experiences with racism. You know, again, I want to say this, as somebody who is light-skinned, my journey as a black person is different from people that are darker than me. So please, I know this, my own family are dark-skinned people. My experience, my sister's experience, my sister is a beautiful dark-skinned woman. Her experience is different from mine. My mother is a beautiful black lady. Her experience is different from mine in this country. So please don't think it's easy for me. It's easy for me to say, I understand, I get it, I empathize, and that's why I'm verbal about it, okay? Katie says, it has been so amazing to see everyone come together in these times, all colours, all sizes, all people. It's been beautiful to see the world as one, and we just need to keep applying the pressure, keep this hashtag going, guys. And look, we're in our last 5 minutes, and I want to say to you, for those of you that have never experienced racism, okay, thank you for those of you that are giving thumbs up. We've been seeing on social media, Jenny Graham, thank you, has said some US police are even joining the protest and actually speaking against police officers, which is beautiful, and it's wonderful to see them being honest and standing on the side of truth. Natasha Watts, hello my gorgeous. Jenny says, white people are beginning to speak up and speak out. We appreciate it. We love you for that, and we need it, and we thank you for your voice. You guys are so important to this conversation. I want you to know that. Ian says the Holocaust didn't happen because bad people committed bad actions. It happens because so-called good people stayed silent and allowed it to. Just as if 10 bad cops commit racist attacks and 100 so-called good people say nothing, then you have 110 bad people, bad cops. We are all guilty unless we speak out. Thank you so much for that, Ian. If you guys agree with these comments, please just throw some thumbs up in the air, throw some hearts. Stevie Wonder has a song, says "We Are the World." Brilliant lyrics. What an apt song. I didn't even think of that song. Perfect song. I've got loads of people giving me thumbs up. We've got people saying we are in it for the long haul because this will not be fixed overnight, and we can't afford to let this dip right now. We have to keep applying the pressure at least until these police officers are called and are, you know, convicted for what they've done. You know, we talked about this a bit earlier for those of you that are just joining. You know, many of us agree that there was 4 police officers involved. I don't know if you guys saw that on social media, but where George was being knelt on, his neck was being knelt on, and his windpipe being crushed to death. There were actually 2 other police officers kneeling on him. There's been some pictures that have come out recently showing that there was 3 police officers kneeling on him, and there was also the police officer that was trying to keep people back and protect them, you know, for what they were doing to George. So many people agree that there's 4 people that should be convicted. If you agree, just post 4 with a thumbs up. We've got Jacqueline says, "Amen. We have to keep strong." Maria says, "Congratulations." We've got people applauding. We've got Jude, got thumbs in the air. Marie Francis, hello Marie, my darling. Thank you for your thumbs up. Claire is putting her thumbs up. Thank you so much, Claire. We've got people saying, Cheryl says, "I agree with Katie." Essie says, "Good must and will conquer evil." Yes. Katie says, "Black Lives Matter." People are saying, yes, 4 people deserve to be convicted. Guys, let me tell you something. You would do me the honour, if you don't mind, like, after we come off this, if you don't mind just posting the hashtag, you could just do like a blacked out screen or a coloured screen, or just hashtag Black Lives Matter. That would just be awesome. If you don't mind doing that, then that would be wonderful. And please, you know, use my hashtag Michpowerhour. You know, I would love the support. John says, "I judge people as individuals no matter what race you are." Thank you for that, John. Judge says, "Keep going, lady. Love you." Behind you. Guys, if you have appreciated this conversation tonight, if you think it has been helpful, if you feel that you have been seen tonight, you've been heard, would you just like give me a thumbs up? Would you just share the hashtag Michpowerhour? If you want to share this broadcast, that would be awesome. We're going to wrap this up. But thank you for you guys who have been vocal. Thank you for you guys who have just been a part of this conversation, that have joined in. Amanda, hello my Amanda, bless you, gorgeous. Thank you for just logging into this and just being present. Thank you. There's lots of hearts going up. There's lots of thumbs going up, and I appreciate it. And I want to say, just, you know, we need more compassion. We need more justice. We need more empathy. We need more love. And this is what we're experiencing here right now on this live, on this broadcast. Love, compassion, justice, empathy. Thank you for your voice. Thank you for your platform. Some people are saying, great conversation, Michelle. Loads of thumbs up. Thank you so much. Thank you. Fantastic chat as always. Listen, I'm just a mother. I'm just a black woman. I'm just one person. But this doesn't happen without you guys. So thank you for being present. Thank you for all of your amazing comments. Thank you for your support. Thank you for those of you that hashtag and that don't mind being brave and standing with us and posting this. If you don't mind hashtagging Michpowerhour, I'd appreciate it. If you don't mind sharing this live, I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. And as I said, we need more compassion, we need more justice, we need more empathy, we need more love. I love you guys. Thank you for being with me tonight. Listen, this is the Michpowerhour. This is where we turn pain into power. And that's what we're doing tonight. One broadcast at a time, one song at a time, one comment at a time, one like at a time, one thumbs up at a time, one heart at a time. Thank you, everybody. I love you all. More compassion, more justice, more empathy, more love. Bless you guys. Good night. Speak soon, guys. Good night.